2020 has not been a kind year.
2020 was an overwhelming year for most of us, and what happened this year will stay in my heart for a very long time. But when I look back on everything that's happened this year, sickness and loss are not the sole topics. I've also learned so much more about self-love, relationships, and life. Here are the 20 lessons that I learned in 2020. You don't need to be productive all the time. Taking time for yourself is not selfish or lazy. Being stuck in the house for the majority of this year put so much pressure on people to be doing something with their time so that they didn't feel like their year was wasted. And people were sold the idea that if they weren't spending their time in quarantine learning a new language, excelling at a new hobby, or starting a business, then their time was being wasted. I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit. I know buy an LLC with your stimulus check Twitter is gonna come for me for this one, but honestly it's true. Quite frankly, if you've managed to stay alive this year, then you've done enough. Nothing stays still. Change is inevitable. Ain't it funny how life changes? Plans change like that. Be at peace with things not going your way. Obviously we can't plan for everything, and I don't think anyone planned for a global pandemic, but learn how to adapt as best as possible to any situation that you're put in. It's okay to not have it all figured out. Honestly, does anybody know what they're doing? 2020 has shown me that even the people that always seem to have it all figured out definitely don't always have it together. It's okay to not have your entire life figured out right now. And I have to remind myself of this every day. You are on your own timeline, and as my good friend Tyla always says, everything will work out best case scenario. Don't take anything for granted. Be thankful for what you do have today. Though lots of people have lost many things this year, jobs, housing, loved ones, becomes even more important to reflect on the things that you do have and be grateful for those things. Even those chores that you have to do that may not be the most exciting, try to shift your mindset from I have to do something to I get to do something. For example, instead of saying I have to go to work today or I have to clean my apartment, try saying, I get to go to work today to make money to provide for my family and buy the things that I want. Or I get to clean my apartment today, the place that provides me with warmth, shelter, and solitude. Just this simple mindset switch is enough to help us be more positive and be grateful for the everyday things that we do have that we often take for granted. You are capable of much more than you think. Stop with the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from reaching your full potential. Ask yourself, what beliefs are holding you back from your goals? And what will you be able to accomplish if you let them go? You really can do anything you set your mind to. As cliche as it sounds, it's true. And it's all about the way that you think. Change your beliefs, change your life. Difficult times show us the real face of people and of life. People's true colors often show in the face of adversity. In times like these, you will often discover that people that you thought would be there for you are not. Things can change in an instant, and you never truly know a person or how they'll react when they're placed in a difficult situation. Also, everyone is going through their own struggles that you don't always see, so it is important to be mindful of this and truly be kind to everyone, because you really never know what people are going through. Self-care is a priority, not a privilege. Self-care is a necessity, and it honestly should be seen as one. So many people put the needs of their loved ones in front of their own, which is admirable, but of course, you have to remember to take care of yourself. You can't serve others from an empty vessel. Eating healthy, getting enough sleep, keeping a gratitude journal, and setting aside time weekly to plan and set goals, investing in and nurturing relationships that add value to your life. Health is wealth, sis. Take care of yourself. Always have something to look forward to. Having something to look forward to helps the days go by faster, especially when we're locked in the house for months at a time. Whether it's something as big as a cool vacation that you're planning on taking next year, or something as small as being excited to binge watch a new Netflix series at the end of the work week. Always having something to look forward to in the future can sometimes be the motivation that you need to keep going. Time is a limited resource. Don't waste it on people or things that don't add value to your life. This is something that people tell you time and time again, and I always understood this, but I never fully implemented this into my life until this year. Quit the job that makes you unhappy. Ditch those friends that are constantly being negative and dimming your light. Remove that person who makes you feel like you're not good enough. Your presence is a present, honey, and if there are people who don't understand that, then they need to be removed from your life immediately. Protect your energy. Pick your battles. Not everything deserves a response. Energy is everything, and being surrounded by negative energy only brings negative things into your life. Make sure to only put yourself in situations that bring you peace, and if they don't, let it go. Alone does not mean lonely. Learn to enjoy your own company. I've spent more time alone in 2020 than I probably ever have in my life. And honestly, I think it was the best thing for me. Being alone forces you to face yourself, confront your fears, your insecurity, your negative self-thought, and really forces you to deal with those things. And as much as I like to be social, I have truly found comfort in being alone and having time to myself. Setting goals is great, but learning how to be flexible with your goals is even better. Girl, we all had something planned in 2020 that we were planning to accomplish this year. Even I swore that 2020 was going to be my best year and I was going to be the happiest I've ever been and accomplish all the goals that I set for myself. And I did meet a few of those goals, but of course, plans can get derailed at any instant. And while it is important to set goals, it is also extremely important to be flexible and learn to be at peace when things don't go as planned. Tell people you love them and care about them more often. Life is extremely short, and we have been reminded of this year more than ever. Lots of people, including myself, have lost loved ones this year. And I know people say this all the time, but it truly is such a small thing that can go such a long way. Tell the people that you love in your life that you love them. Remind them how much you care about them and how much they mean to you, because we truly don't know what tomorrow brings. So take this opportunity to celebrate the people in your life now while they're here before we don't have them anymore. Only you know what's best for you. Trust yourself. 2020 was the year that I finally stopped telling people my plans and asking their opinions on them. And honestly, I'm a little ashamed that it even took me this long. So many people will try to give you their often unsolicited advice on what you should be doing, how your life should be going. Of course, it's nice to sometimes have advice from people who have maybe done the same things that you're planning on doing, but at the end of the day, you have to trust that only you know what's best for yourself and that you will choose the right path to take. Listen to your body whisper so that you don't have to hear it scream. Now, I wish I came up with this myself, but I actually saw this quote online and I really resonated with it. I thought it was great. Oftentimes, our body signals us when something is wrong. The headaches, the anxiousness, the restlessness isn't coincidental. Pay attention to your body. Find peace in taking care of the little things before they manifest into big things. Closed mouths don't get fed. Again, this is another one that I grew up hearing, but you don't really ever truly understand it until you become an adult and start implementing this into your life. You have to be your best advocate. Who's gonna stick up for you if you don't stick up for you? Stick up for yourself, be assertive, and be clear with what you want or don't want in your life. Stop comparing yourself to other people. It's so easy to fall into the trap of comparing your wins to other people's wins, or contrasting your life with the life of someone who seemingly has it all together. But you are on your own timeline, and your success and happiness is not contingent on anyone else's. So run your own race. Find what's draining you and patch that hole. Taking care of yourself isn't just finding out what makes you happy and doing more of that thing, but it's also important to figure out what makes you feel anxious, insecure, or inadequate. Any activity or person in your life that makes you feel drained should not have access to you. If this means quitting the high-stress job to do work in an area that brings you joy, then do that. Feel the losses. 2020 has been a year of loss for many people, and as the human race as a whole, we have lost a lot this year. But it is important to acknowledge these negative feelings that you have and learn to work through them. Don't try to sweep them under the rug and think they'll disappear, because they won't. They will only keep growing and growing until you address them. Grieving doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. So don't be afraid to feel the losses. Celebrate the wins. If you've made it to December 2020, that in itself is something worth celebrating. Celebrate the wins and be happy for the good things in life. They don't always have to be big wins either. Any goal, big or small, that you reach should be acknowledged and should be celebrated. So congratulations, you made it to the end of 2020. No matter what obstacles we faced along the way, we made it to the end of the year in one piece, and that is something to be happy about. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. If you've taken any important lessons from 2020, please leave them down below. I wish you all continued blessing, blow up, opportunity, shmoney, love, happiness, whatever else, all 2021. Love you all so much, and I hope you have the happiest new year.